Market continues to be very challenging. Let's go over the trades on the day a little bit, depending on the portfolio. Some are break even, some are down a little bit, some are up a little bit on the day. Cobra 3 mini S&P market rolled over on the news that New York City schools will close, and we saw some divergences overnight where the ES went up and the NASDAQ went down, and then the ES sold more than the NASDAQ. And so tricky price action. Not a lot to indicate that this would roll over. Advanced decline line was up. VIX was still fairly low. And just the price is kind of in this narrow range, upward trend. And so you anticipate markets to continue to go higher. We see these, it kind of looks like a topping pattern, but topping patterns just haven't worked well in this market. And so, zooming out, you can see this wide W pattern, and this could be a megaphone pattern top. If you look at the daily, weekly, monthly charts, you can see that megaphone pattern, and it's extended because of obviously Federal Reserve stimulus and liquidity in the markets from them. And so, but adaptive moving average, one of our aggressive strategies, jumped on this very aggressively. This strategy is aggressive, and so it doesn't require a lot of information. It just basically looks at price, and so the market rolled over, and adaptive moving average did a great job of catching this. Surprisingly, adaptive moving average the last several months, the short side is actually more profitable than the long side, so that's kind of telling. If you test the longs and the shorts separately, the last several months, adaptive moving average is better. So minus 625 on Cobra 3 mini S&P, plus 14 on adaptive moving average. 60-minute breakout ES. It was down. We have these moves that look like they're going to break out and you get stopped out just at that low there. A lot of those trades where we're getting stopped out at low points. Let's see. We got in at 3606.25. We would not have hit the profit target up here. We would have had to get to 3626 area, and so stopped out on that trade. After hours ES stopped out at this low point before the market rallies. And so yeah, that happens. Seems to be happening more than normal lately. And Cobra CT3 E-mini S&P, nice trade initially, and then the market rolled over right here. Big sell-off. New York City schools closing. Return to the pandemic. The stay-at-home trade. Tick count trend 2 E-mini S&P, same thing. Went long. Minus 1187.50. First trade was good. These trades were not so good, and captured this falling knife on the news. So those are the trades on the E-mini S&P. All the long trades basically lost, and the short trade right here was profitable, plus 14 overall on adaptive moving average. So NASDAQ, not a lot of trades in the NASDAQ today. You see Cobra 3 E-mini NASDAQ. It looked we came within a quarter. We're up pretty good here. Still not at that $1,400 profit target, though. We talked about the profit target on the longs for Cobra 3 mini NASDAQ. Was not close to the profit target. 11,970.75. The high was 12,027.50. So it was up about $1,100. And so this low right here was interesting because it was a quarter of a point away from being stopped out. And so when it bounced hard like this, I thought we're going to rally into the close, and we did not. So market rolled over. NASDAQ did not roll over as much as the E-mini S&P. So those are the trades on the NASDAQ. 60-minute breakout, no trades. That was yesterday's trade. And so just not a lot of trades in E-mini NASDAQ. We see these are yesterday's trades in tick count trend. I'm making this video later than normal. Long days of these drawdowns, testing a lot of different things, trying to make some adjustments here. Just different type of market. We don't know. There is still uncertainty related to the election, so I don't know if that's 100% the reason why the market is acting like this. VSD was up. Had this nice breakout trade. Really liked this trade. This was a good trade. The first trade of the session was here. This looked like it was going to make another 100-point end-of-day run. Maybe it would have we not had the New York City school closure news from Mayor de Blasio. Market rolled over once again, stopped out, and in the evening session here late, going along a couple of times, first trade was stopped out. So Viper ES stopped out. It just looked like the long side, the patterns were setting up for long trades, and the market rolled over on us. EVP is kind of like adaptive moving average, though. It looks at price action, and so it's looking at the price action, and it just jumps on this short trade. Went through that counter trend bounce right there and stayed short. I can't remember when the news was released on New York City schools. I think it was released in here, and it still bounced, and then it rolled over again. And so Tick Fader had a profitable short trade right here. It's had 3 out of the last 4 trades are winners. There was a winner back here too. So 4 out of the last 5 trades on Tick Fader. And so those are the beta strategies. Natural gas, SR counter trend 3, one of the highlights in the portfolios. It's quite a bit. It's been on a roll. A lot of winning trades in a row. And you see those here, 3 there. And then the last 2 are winners. SR counter trend 2, 5 minute that was yesterday. 1 minute was yesterday. And so that's natural gas. It's been a highlight on the year. Crude oil, Cobra Crude aggressive down on the day, minus 725. That's only crude oil trade. Cobra Euro 4, small short trade here, not even worth mentioning, plus 25. Gold, Asia Gold 4, only 1 trade on the day, plus hit its profit target, plus 975 on that. And RBOB, no trades. Silver, no trades. Soybeans, no trades. Interesting to see soybeans approach the $12 per bushel. Chopper, let's take a look at Chopper. Looking at a 1 minute version here, and it's kind of break even to down. It's down a little bit on the day on both the gold and the NASDAQ. So those are the trades on the day. Let's look at the portfolios a little bit here. Here's the November results through November the 18th. Stock index portfolios down 22,000, 3rd month in a row. Pretty steep drawdown, 44,000. We're talking, small. The minimum account size required was 221 with this current drawdown, and margin requirement 177. And so the previous requirement was about 210. And so you can do the math on that. It's about a 21% drawdown based on 210, and so challenging market environment. All 77, it is in a $57,000 drawdown out of 44,000. Approaching that 15% drawdown from capital minimum account size required. And so 3 months in a row we had this August recovery from July, kind of like last year, and then the pre-election chop was extreme, and it got even more extreme. It stayed extreme. It's never come out of that pre-election chop, and it's just gotten choppier. So 2020, we made some adjustments during the pandemic, and you can see those in the old portfolio calculator. And overall, we survived the pandemic better than what we're doing right now. And so this has been rough. And working on the adjustments, like I've told many of you, you have to work on scaling back, trading less strategies, or waiting until the election is certified. I don't know why it's doing this. Part of it's the election. Part of it is the fact that the market just never goes down when it should, and so they're holding it up here when it ought to go down, and we just continue to get this. This prop-up price action without any real distribution in the market for many years, and so when it finally breaks down, it could break down pretty hard. So we'll see how that plays out. So that's the portfolio calculator for some of the top portfolios. Let's look at the micro stock index in gold, multiply times 10 for the minis. It's almost doubled its worst case drawdown. It was around 3,000. Or 3,500, I believe, was the worst case drawdown. Now it's at almost 6,000. So challenging to trade, and like I said, you have to scale back or sit on the sidelines until some of this blows over, because it's the most extreme chop I've seen in a long time, maybe ever. So those are the updates for November the 18th, 2020.